Hello everyone and welcome to this new episode in which we are going to finish the Angular application by adding some styles to it, by installing Bootstrap and Angular material, as well as creating the different components or finishing the different components for our CRUD operation in the company entity. We need to install Bootstrap and add the Angular material to our application. To install Bootstrap, you just need to install the Bootstrap package. Then you need to go ahead and add it to your Angular project. All you have to do is just say, let's go to the root folder by just opening a new terminal. And then I'm going to say npm install Bootstrap. Once that's done, you just need to go to your AngularJS or AngularJSON and then add the assets or add the CSS file and the script files of your Bootstrap. Just going to copy them to the style and the build and the scripts. So we're going to just put the scripts. Then on the serve as well. So you need to add them to the serve so that you can see them when you serve the application or when you test your application locally. So we're going to add them here as well. So to the style and to the JavaScript or to the script arrays. Now I just need to restart my Angular project. That's it. I go back to the Angular application and then we're going to try to add some Bootstrap containers and see if it works. You just go to the list component and then I'm going to introduce, let's say, div class container, which is a Bootstrap class, just to see that Bootstrap is installed. So now my content will be central. As you can see, it worked. Now we are going to add the Angular material. And Angular material is a nice library with a bunch of components that are out of the box. You can use them. So you just need to get started here. Then you'll be asked to install it into your project. So you just go to your project and then install it. And you just do this terminal and then add. You can use the package will be installed and if you would like to proceed, yes. And to ask you about the style or which theme that you're going to use in Angular material. So you just skip or stick to the default one, and then you can say yes for the typography styles. Include enable animation, yes. Then that's it. So your package is installed, then you can now try to add some kind of components. So we can do that. I'll just try to add the table and see if I'm able to. So you go to components, you go to tables, then take any of the tables that you have there to try. So I'll just take this and then I'm going to dump it into my component. So my list component should contain a table or an Angular material table. So in this case, you have some variables that we have to declare within our component. So I'm going just to get the TS file from here and then declare some data just to try out. So I go to my list component and I'm going to declare these. I'll just remove them later. It's just for testing purpose. Make sure that it works before we proceed. Then I go to the data source and put these two attributes or properties into my component class. Now I should be able to run the, try it. But of course we need to add the mat table to our module. So mat table module. So you can just grab it from there. It will be easier. So to install that or to import that, you just need to do this. Then come here, and then this is your mat table module, and we're going to import the paginator as well. I think we have the paginator added, maybe not. I'm just saving this. I don't have paginator, so I should be fine. Now I should be able to see that table if my Angular material is installed correctly. As you can see, table is there, so it's styled based on the Angular material style. So now I'm going to change this table to display the company information. And to do that, we just need to remove these data from here. I don't need this interface. I do have already my class for the company. So this data source is actually mat table data source of type company. It is equal to new mat table data source of type company, and it's a new instance. And then I have company name, at least for now, and some actions. I'll just put some actions here just for the actions column. I don't need the rest. I'll just remove them. Then I have to specify or to initialize my data source with my data is equal to data. So now my table should display the name, but I need to tweak the table here as well. So I'll have only two columns, the name, just remove the rest, and one column for the actions. And it's going to be actions like buttons or whatever we want to do, maybe details, edit, and delete. So I'll just empty this for now, and we'll see if we have the table. So I'll just remove this. That's it. And just have each title here, companies. That's it. Now when I go back, I should see the list of company listed in my table. As you can see, it's all good. And of course, we can style it. We can add some pagination. We can add different like filters and stuff like that. So we can always introduce these changes whenever we get there. So we can add the sorting. You can add the filtering as well. So just go to yeah, you have it selectable columns. You can add columns dynamically. You'll have different styles, scrolling, and so on. So I'm not going to dive deep into the all the features that Material have, but you guessed it. So now I'm just going to make sure that this is installed correctly. So because they have a mat elevation, and it should be elevated a little bit, but I don't see it elevated. Believe it's we need to restart my application here. So I think we need to do this. Yeah, there you go. Now we can see that it's elevated. We're just going to introduce some Bootstrap styling right now to make it appear better here. So I'll just say div class p2 for the padding. And then I can put this as h2, for example, just make it bigger. Now, as you can see the list of companies, and then we need to introduce the actions as well. So I'm going to enhance a little bit the design here, the overall design, to introduce a menu on the left. And we can achieve that by using the SideNav. This is the SideNav actually, so you can try examples, and then it toggles and toggles back. It's very simple to do. You can introduce that into our application to make a small menu on the left. And to do that, you just head over to your app component, and then you introduce your drawer, which is called mat drawer there. So you can just go back to Material and see that I have this API that I need to install, or mat SideNav module that we need to introduce in our app module, and we import it here. Now I'm going to copy a component example, like this one here, for example, or maybe this. Any one of them could do though. So probably this one here, and then we're going to introduce some other logic to it. So I'll just go to my Visual Studio Code and then add that to my component. And my router outlet should actually be here. After that, and then this one here, I don't need this class. Of course, we need to introduce the mat table, or mat button, sorry, and this variable here, which is the show filler or not, and we're going to just say SideNav open instead of filler. SideNav open is equal to true. It's a boolean. Equal to true by default, and then we can close it when you click on the button. And then here we can introduce the toggle drawer, and then no, this is not what I'm looking for. I'd like to say open is equal to that, so that when I click on the button it will open and close based on that variable, and as well as the toggle. So now you can see that it's going to have that SideNav open, then I can toggle it back. So we're going to introduce the a different button there, make it nicer. So we have to import the mat button module, which is this one here, and mat icon module as well. I think we need to import it from Angular material. So we just go here and then go to icon. Then you need to introduce this into our app module. So now I have access to the icons, and I can decide like what icon I'd like to use. Then here I'm going to say mat icon button, and we will have an icon. So to determine the icon, you need to go to Google Icons. And then here you can choose what icon you'd like to use. So we can use this as our menu to toggle the menu whenever we need to. That's it. Now we'll see that my menu is available there, and I can toggle and toggle the menu. Now we are going to introduce some menu items here. So here we are going to say this is going to be our title. So we have to introduce some kind of padding there, div class p2, and then here it's going to be text primary if you want, and then bold, font weight bold. It's going to be my title, CRM. Then we can introduce the menu here. So the menu would be some kind of another div there. We just need to do this, and then we can introduce some menu, maybe company name or our company's addresses and contacts. So for simplicity, you're going to say href rotor link companies, and then it's going to be my company here, so companies if you want. Then we can introduce some y to be 2, so make it a little bit bigger. Then we are going to introduce contacts and address. To make it nicer, company, this is contact, and this is addresses. I prepared the menus for them, and later on we're going to create the components for them. As you can see, it looks good. So we have a side menu. We are going to just make it bigger, this menu here. So this is my SideNav drawer. So we can make the width of this thing to be minimum. Min width equal to, let's say, 300 pixels, and see if it's okay. Yeah, well, we can make it smaller, maybe 250 will be enough, but it's still okay. So we can introduce some kind of classes here to remove the class text decoration none, and introduce this class to make the menu clickable, but no underline styling. Yeah, as you can see, it's cool now. Maybe we make the drawer a little bit smaller, but it's up to you to decide here. So we put 250 here, and that's it. So now we have our drawer and our menus that you can click on to go to different sections. I'm going to introduce the create, the edit, the delete, and the details of the company section. And we're going to finish the other, let's say, contact list, address list, and their CRUD operations as well. So we're going to make this height to take up the full, let's say, height of the screen. To do that, you just need to go to that class. So we are going to say drawer container, so you can just name it that way, and then take the full width. So the height would be, or the full height, 100 VH or 100 U8. So as you can see, the menu is taking the full height of the screen. So we're going to work on the create company, and it's going to be a little bit complicated form, and it's going to be a form with some arrays for the contact and another subform for the address. So we're going to start. First, we need to route to that create component. So we are going to just add a button here, class or mat raised button, create company, and then the router would be route to link is companies create, and make sure that I have companies here so that we route correctly to the companies. We are going to import the button module, and then that's it. So now I can go back to my application to make sure that I route back to the list, and then when I click on create company, it should route to the create, but I believe I don't have the create yet. So I'll just make sure that I have it routed correctly. So the create goes to the create component, and I should be able to see it when I click here. So it's companies create. Let's go back and check. Now the create works well. So I'm going to introduce the form to create the a company along with the address and contacts. To do that, I'm going to go to the create and then finish the create component of our company. So that's it for this video. We're going to continue this series by introducing the create, the edit, the delete, and the details operations of our company entity in the next episodes. Thank you.